Ladies and gentlemen, we are finally here. Game day, 3 hours and 38 odd minutes left until the first bounce that will commence the final series. Crows versus Pies. Massive game. It's time to talk all things black and white. Good afternoon, everyone. I hope we're all doing super well, whether that be from work, at home, in the office, you're on the train back. We set ourselves up now to find that couch or that pub, or maybe if you guys are in Adelaide, you're at the Oval, you're at the pub, you're on the bus there. I wish you well. Hopefully it all works out in the end for all of us involved, all parties involved tonight that pertain to the black and white. That is the goal. Josh Dacos 150. Although Adelaide have their own milestones to celebrate. Neil Bullen 200, Walker 300. And to commemorate Taylor Walker's 300th, we're going to give Walker's son, Nick Dacos 35 Guernsey to run out with alongside his father. So that's certainly a funny one, isn't it? I was actually just got home from work and had some time to watch bits and pieces back from the game we had in round 23 and just trying to clutch at straws really to see what the difference was. And we know there were just moments when the game was in dry conditions. It was a lot of Pendlebury. It was a lot of Nick Dacos and De Goey working together, just getting it forward with sheer bruteness. And there were times where Josh Dacos was finding ways to open up that corridor play, and vice versa. Adelaide in that second quarter had similar really strong looks going inside 50, good looks off the back of turnovers or repeat entries. There was just that polish that got them some really good looks, some set shots from, and you know what, their set shots similar to some of the opportunities that Collingwood had in the first quarter. They weren't easy shots. Fogarty, Walker were shooting from some distance, and then you had Dan Houston who had an opportunity outside our forward 50 in that first quarter. You had Darcy Cameron. So it really was a high. In that first half, it was a high-quality game with top-end finishing and some really good looks, and just two teams that it looked like in that moment, in that period of time, and on that night, looked like two teams on top of their game. And I say that period and that time and that day because Collingwood, we hadn't seen that from Collingwood in weeks leading into that game, but the Crows have sustained that. So that's why I preface that by saying what I've just said. And then that second half was just an absolute slugfest. And in the end, I think Thilthorpe probably steals the game from us in multiple different ways. So, ooh, here we are. Let's. Who's in the chat? What's going on? What's cooking? Welcome, Mike. Welcome, Ben. Welcome, Jake. I'm in front of the Adelaide Oval as we speak. Weather is pitch perfect for football. No excuses tonight. Bring the heat and show those Adelaide throws amateurs what final football is all about. Yeah, it's a new look going against Adelaide in good conditions because we didn't get that at the G. It was a slugfest, and then it was further accentuated by that second game in Adelaide. It was even worse conditions that whole second half and periods of that second quarter as well. So, what does a game in dry conditions look like between Adelaide and the Pies in 2025? We don't know, so we'll find out tonight. And we're hearing that Josh Dacos is probably going to cop a tag. Is that the question? Is that a Luke Pedlar who plays forward but can play a defensive assignment at times? I remember, was it last year, Pedlar tried to play on Tom Stewart, and that didn't go to plan, or maybe it was a year before. But he's had multiple. He's been tasked with tagging roles as that tagging forward in times gone by. So maybe that's the one they circled the Josh Dacos name and they say, yeah, he's our guy that we want to nullify in the Pies back half, especially if Dan Houston is someone who's not going to be in that back half to move the ball. So they really just narrow in, okay, well, yeah, we stop Josh Dacos in that back half, and that goes a long way in us being able to set up a wall. So I'm just going back to round 23. How did Dacos go? Josh Dacos. Let's have a look. Was it one of his more quieter games, relatively speaking? So 19 touches, only one inside 50, one stoppage clearance, 3 score involvements. So not the brightest game. And you know there were players like Brodie Smith and Mitchell Hinge who had some really good moments from their half back line early in the game. So you had Brodie Smith, 15 touches. Did he have a goal assist? He kicked a goal. He had a shot on target. He had a goal assist, a score launch, and 3 score involvements. And then what about Hinge? Where are you, Mr. Mitchell Hinge? Where are you, buddy? Hinge had 21 touches. It always seems like Hinge tends to tear us up. 21 touches, 17 kicks, 4 stoppage clearances, 1 intercept mark, 1 goal assist, 2 score involvements. So the score involvements are much the same, but Mitchell Hinge and Brodie Smith were able to put finishing touches onto the plays that ended up in goals in that first half. So just little observations in those ones. Looking at opposition. So against Collingwood, in his last few games, he's had 23, 26, and 21. So maybe it's 21 and 21 in both games this year, 21 touches each. So maybe that's a man you want to put some work into in the back half, because he is someone who can light you up with that left foot. Benny, here he is. Thank you, brother. Thank you for the 5 Pies Footy gifted memberships. Welcome, Epstein, Admiral Epstein, Jason, GHJ, Dane, and the Laughing Magpie. There you go. Lift. It's time to... Is it raining or it's dry, Teresa? It's very dry, is what I'm hearing. There's Jake in the chat who's at the Adelaide Oval as we speak, and he said it is picture perfect. Oh, it's been all over South Australian news. Michael Annie to play forward and tag Josh Dacos. So Michael Annie is a defender, and they're going to swing him forward to nullify Josh Dacos' impact from the back half. Interesting that. It screams of Billy Frampton 2023 going from backline to forward line to do a job on Harris Andrews. So I wonder where they got that one from. I don't know. If it's not working out, maybe that's where you go. We'll throw Pendles in the back half and let's see what you're about then. You want to tag Josh Dacos? No worries. We'll put Pendles there. If maybe we need Pendles because he's doing so well in the midfield battle, which, mate, Pendles loves playing against Adelaide. I know Collingwood as a whole love playing against Adelaide, but if we go back, did he get coaches' votes for the game? He got coaches' votes for the game we had. He had 24 touches, 3 score involvements. It was a massive game. Like, the numbers aren't going to do it justice. Where the clearances? He had 9 inside 50s and 8 clearances, which is huge. It was a equal a game high alongside Nick Dacos. And then if we go back to the earlier, how did he go in the earlier game against Collingwood? Was it round 10? Was it round 10? It was. Pendlebury had 22 touches, 6 score involvements, and a goal assist. But generally, and even in 2024, I feel like he was huge against the Crows. So I'm saying all this because I'm trying to find something to latch onto to manifest for this game. Like, I want this Pendlebury performance. So 2024, he had 5 coaches' votes, 30 touches, and 2 goals, I think, wasn't it? So that was a massive game. And then in game 350 in 2022, it was the 1-2 punch of Nick Dacos and Scott Pendlebury. 29 touches and a goal to go with it. So that's what we're sort of hoping for there, aren't we? Okay, so if Josh Dacos gets tagged by 12 touches, that means he's playing the Houston role? I like that. I was going to say, so if hypothetically Josh Dacos gets tagged out of the game, you can move him to a wing and put Houston in the back line, or you pair them together. You go, all right, take Josh Dacos, we'll put Houston back into the back half. Or like I said, if midfield's going well, or we don't really, say we need Pendlebury in the back half in our back line more than we do in the midfield, then you can pair him along with Josh Dacos. You go, hey, make a decision. You can tag Josh Dacos, but you're not going to be able to tag Pendlebury out of the game. So, all right, going back to Listen Mobile. Are you in the gym? Pre-game pump-up, Teresa. I love that. Into some Zaza. Fly is an outstanding person and coach. Is Rat Poison. What is that YouTube name? Rat Poison, Daughter of a Suicide. Are those like song lyrics, or enlighten me? That's fascinating. I'm intrigued. Lift heard it's going to be the same umpires again, MD. Any truth to that, chat? Any truth to that? So the umpires for this game, if we refresh, I don't remember who they were last time, but we do a little fact check here. Lineups. Why is it not coming up? Let's go back. If I go fixtures. That would be interesting, considering they had a shocker. Surely it would not make sense to give the same umpires the same opportunity, given the stinker they had. Stevens, Meyer, Meredith, and Mollison. Okay. Pause. Let's see. Majority of the umpires are the same, says Benny. Uh-oh. Okay. So, guys, we've been saying it all week. We will be playing against the umpires as well as the Crows. It's just the way it is. That's what will make this win even more impressive. Stevens, Meredith, Fleer, Mollison. Hold on. Is Meredith there? Steven. I think it's 3 of the 4 same umpires. The difference is Hayden Meyer won't be in this one, and Craig Fleer will replace him. There you go. Big Footy having a tanty about it. It won't matter if we blitz us. I'm saying, like, it's just going to make the story even better. Just curious, what was the free kick differential? And sometimes it's not the free kick differential that matters. It's the 25 to 18. We average 19 per game for the season. 18 to 25 in this game that we had against them. What about for the year? Where do Adelaide sit for the year, and where do we sit for the year if we're talking free kicks? Don't worry, guys. I'm not depending on free kicks. I mean, Adelaide are the number 1 side in the comp for free kicks for. However, they're also top 4 for giving away free kicks. So while they earn a lot, they give away a number of as well across the board of the year. Who has the biggest free kick differential in the plus? You got Brisbane, Hawthorn, Carlton, Essendon. So it doesn't look, at the end of the day, we're really not going to make much of this, are we? It is what it is. Do you think Lipinski could be the sub tonight? Asked Chris Talbot. I would have to say you're probably going with the Rowan Steele as a sub. I don't think there's any point trying to upset what's been established over the course of the season. We already have an experiment in Mason Cox coming in for Dan McStay. You got Will Parker, who's less of an experiment because of what he was able to achieve against the Crows, but nevertheless, a 9-game player is somewhat of a risk. Then if you want to throw in Rowan Steele as a starter, I'd be more comfortable throwing in Rowan Steele as a sub and bleed him into the game when there's tired legs and he can run on top of the ground and give us good looks going forward. Hey, Matty, hello from Adelaide. Huge. Did you say you got tickets? I remember you said you were going to Adelaide, but did you say tickets? Watching from Ireland, come on the Pies. Justin, welcome, my friend. Welcome. It'd be about morning time in Ireland, wouldn't it be right now, Justin? Be morning time, right? If I know my geography well, which I don't. Membry will have to kick 3 tonight. We need it bad. Guys, the reason why Tim Membry has been such a success for us is he's been so reliable in front of goal. He is our most accurate kick going for goal in 2025. And without some of his goals, without straight kicking from Tim Membry, games don't go the way that they did this year. Like, scoreboard pressure is massive. We all know that. You can have all the entries like we've seen, but if you don't convert, if you're not accurate, are Adelaide? Let's see. Are Adelaide the most accurate side in the comp? They are the second most accurate side in the comp. We are just below AFL average. So that just goes to show. You have straight kicks like Fogarty, Thilthorpe, Walker, and you give yourself every chance, which is why their goals per inside 50 is so high and we're below AFL average. So it just goes a long way, doesn't it? Maddie says he's met my brother who's coming from Melbourne and I've come from GC. That's right. Huge. Lots of magpies at the airport cheering on the pies. Love that. Brendan, welcome. I hope we're all well, guys. I hope we're all well. We're all keen. 7:15. Huge. So are you taking the work day off? Are you working from home? What's the play? What's the play in Ireland? What's the play there? It's not raining here in Adelaide. It was this morning when the plane touched down, but sunny here at the moment. Nice. I need to close some apps because it's looking a bit glitchy on my end. Stream looks all right, guys. It's a little bit glitchy. Take off my work coat. I feel like a flog wearing a trench coat. I'm a trench coat guy, but there is something a little bit wanky about wearing your trench coat in a stream. But sometimes I just forget to take it off. Hey, you good? Hey. Yeah, they're sweet. They're ready. Trust me. Spoke to them yesterday. Bed early, everything. They're sorted. Big call tonight. Checkers to kick 4. Work until 10:40. They're back in after 1 p.m. Huge. Yeah, it's redemption time for Brody Myercheck. He's been poor, along with most of our forward line. He's got a job on Mark Keane first and foremost, and I think Mason Cox is someone who can throw a spanner in the works on Mark Keane and knows that's not someone he'd be used to playing on. Mark Keane's a bit of a hothead, so imagine, I'd love to see, this is beyond anything, what I want to see in the first quarter, Mason Cox, clunk it, Coxie footy, Coxie lines up, Coxie kicks goal, Coxie gets into the man on a mark, the man on a mark happens to be Mark Keane, there's a melee, Keane loses his head, free kick, Coxie kicks 2, and we're on. Crows by 1, sorry, all good, Riley. We're all entitled to opinions. It's going to be a close game. Can't see it going any other way. Justin, you have the Pies 8.5. Hopefully it gets me a few ladies in Thailand next week as I'm going there to watch the games in the sun. We got some DJs in the chat, huh? Love that. Make sure they are, ladies, right? Unless, if you like a lady boy, fair enough. I'm not going to knock you, mate. Not going to knock you. Cox is going to start a fight. Woods easily. Cox will have a blinder tonight. Watching from Adelaide. Come on, Collingwood. Hey, let's go, Ethan. Let's go. Are you at the game? You going to the game or watching the pub? Dermy said today Adelaide won't be able to deal with the reach of the Cox. See, guys, sometimes I don't know if you're being cheeky and it's just wordplay in here when it comes to Mason's surname, or if it's a serious claim. Like, is that true? Is that claim been substantiated, chat? Like, did Dermy actually say that, or is Rick just winding me up? Hey, man. You got to help them pay the way somehow, Justin, right? You got to look after. It's an industry. You got to make money somehow. Respect Pendlebury. We all do. And I appreciate that you respect him, mate. That was serious on SEN. Look, like Judd says, nothing compares to a big Mason. Nothing compares. So I don't know if Mark Keane has experienced the wrath of a Mason Cox. So we'll find out tonight. Ethan says, I am a power supporter. I'm going to the game supporting Collingwood. Appreciate you. If Cox can compete and get the ball to ground and kick one or two, we are in. Love that. Looks sunny at the ground on 7 Early News. Get your Coxie love in, guys. Get it in. All right, while you're all at it, fucking hell, get it out now. Get it out of your system. Come on. You're all going to be telling me how much you love fucking Mason Cox now, and then if all hell breaks loose tonight, mate, Mason Cox is highly flammable tonight, guys. He's highly flammable. There's a lot of angst around his name, his performance. I'm worried. I'm worried for what could come if his performance doesn't go his way. But get it out now. Get it out now while you're here. There you go. We love Cox. Cox lift. What else you got? Come on. I've heard it all before. What type of performance warrants a game next final? Will Mac? Hard to objectify it and give it numbers. A couple of contested marks, that always stands out. Some good ruck craft leading to forward 50 stoppage goals. I love that. And just being an absolute nuisance to Mark Keane. USA. You watch Coxie cause a melee. We want it. Cox is long but not hard. Okay. Hey, that's a good one. Hey, here's a game. Blake, love that. For every time Mason Cox is mentioned in the game about the impact he needs to have and he could have and later in the game, whether he's having it or not, every time he has an impact, have a drink. And hopefully we win and we can all be plastered post-stream and just soak it up. USA. Jack Cripps needs a huge one and he usually goes berserk in finals. That's a name. He's been sprinkled into the conversation this week, hasn't he, Jack Crisp, about being the third highest rated player in finals history since champion data has been implemented. So there's that. He's got that in him. So we're all focusing on Mason Cox, Jordan De Goey, Myercheck, Josh Dacos, but could it be Jack Crisp who has 25 and kicks 2 and does some really good work through stoppage clearances, coming in as that winger, taking a couple of aerial marks, which he can do at times as well. So that would be nice. You're driving to work at 4 a.m.? Now, then I don't advise you get plastered then. I couldn't possibly advise you to drink the night before after a big qualifying win where Big Coxie kicks 4. I couldn't advise and recommend that you drink before you have to wake up and drive to work before 4 a.m. I wouldn't do that. If Cox plays good. So here's Steve-O. Here's the question from Steve-O is, if he plays well, Mason, does he deserve another contract? I'd say if he does well enough in the final series to the point where if we're playing 3 finals games at the minimum and he has an impact, I'd say maybe. If we win a flag, I think he'd just retire. I think players like Mason Cox will just simply retire if he wins another flag. What more can you ask for? You've done what you've had to do. You've come out of obscurity from America. You've won a flag. You've had big moments. You've had some serious eye problems. You are getting on. You run the risk. Can you transition into some sort of ambassador role and grow the game in Australia on a full-time basis? So there's a lot to consider. Benny, thanks for the 5, brother. Every goal Mason Cox does, I'll do one push-up. I'll do one Mason push-up, which is a push-up with no hands, only Mason. All right. I'm holding you to it, brother. Teresa says, shooter, best on ground, put your house on it. Thank you for the 2. Put your house on it. So what is it? What is a shooter BOG performance? But to be fair, he does scream of. I'm curious to see what shooter looks like in a final series. I think, Teresa, you said yesterday that he kicked 2 goals against us in 2022 in that final series in a Fremantle side. I can see Shooter 3-4 tackles inside 50, kicking a goal from one of them, taking an overhead mark because he loves that. He loves that despite not being the tallest. He tries to mimic those of similar of like Jamie Elliott. So there is something like that could be cooking for a Lockie Schultz tonight. Man, there's so many Robins. There's so many Robins that can come out and steal the headlines tonight. It really could be. Here we are, Woody. Us. What's going on, my brother? Just G'ing ourselves up. We're G'ing ourselves up. We're lifting. Maga. G'day, Anthony Judge. How are you feeling? I'm starting to percolate, my friend. I'm on the waters at the moment. It's 4:27. We have about 3 hours or so to get to the game. I'm going to prime myself with some pasticcio and maybe some chicken gyros. And I've been off the nicotine, cigarettes and vapes, although I only do that intermittently. I only do that. I'm only a weekend type of guy after a soccer game. I mean, what's a post-game ciggy? So I've been off that for 2 weeks, so I won't be doing any ciggies or vapes of such. So yeah, what am I gonna do? I'm going. Maybe have a bourbon. I don't know. We'll see. I've got to be all good to go for the post game show, though. You know what I mean? What is my biggest concern going into the game? Asks AA187. My biggest concern, which would be most of yours, is our connection going inside forward 50. There's so many, there's a number of other concerns. But beyond all is forward 50 connection, and can we have the same type of midfield dominance that we had in the last game? Adelaide aren't the greatest midfield, but if they get on top in the midfield as well, I do have grave concerns for how the game could pan out. Breathe air, says Levi. I know where that reference is from. That's my guy. Levi, if you know, you know. True. Tell me you know. Blake, last round in VCFA. How do you know? Talk to me, Blake. I didn't know you were swift like that. How do you know? Gee whiz. We've already read that. Maynard will stay hard, as will Big Cox. Stay hard. Parker. Cox is the GOAT. Bigger question, what does Fly have his up for sleeve? You played for Maroondah. I would have played against you, no? We played Maroondah. Maybe Maroondah or CRFC. We played Maroondah. We played you guys at your ground, and then one of our players got sent off. Is that right? Bugatti. What colour is your... I feel like if you say that and you reference Tate, like people... I love him, man. I love him. If you watch him in totality, and if you read beyond his Tate's abrasiveness with his philosophy on things, I think you can take a lot out of him. And truthfully, he is, in the last 2 years, watching him and learning from that guy, he's turned me into what I am today. A loving friend, family member, caring, hard worker. I don't bullshit around. Like I don't do degenerate stuff. Like he's made me everything that I am today. Got you, Blake. Got you, bro. Hey, pleasure to have you here, man. Pleasure to have you here. Experience, apply pressure, football, and win the midfield. Hey, let's lift, Kev. Come on, Kev. Let's go. Yeah, Blake. I play for the Danny Casuals, so that's the team, bro. That's the team. I tipped the Pies for this one, says Peter. Finals will count for a lot in this one, and that's another piece of chatter that we've had this week is the fact that Adelaide are one of the bottom two sides in the final series with the least amount of experience. I think it's like 50 games total. So that has to count for something. It just has to count for something. It's something the players will have to take in with a level of confidence, knowing that we are one of the most experienced sides in finals going into this game against a side who is still very green when it comes to that conversation. Let's go, Melissa. Lift, Kev. Lift. Imagine if we lose and Hawks win massively. I don't want to even think about that, Steve. I don't even want to think about that. I'm trying to manifest a prelim final. I'm manifesting a week off, guys. We haven't Pies Footy's only been around for a year, but we haven't done finals yet, so it's a new beast. I'm intrigued to see how we all go. What magnets are moving tonight? Asked Matty. Well, the magnet's been moved, my friend. The Dan Houston magnet's been moved to the wing. Maybe you'll see a Pendlebury in the back line. You will see Mason Cox in the forward line. And some pinch hitting in the ruck. Are there any other magnets being moved? Well, relative to the game against Adelaide in round 23, we're going to get a bigger dose of Geordie De Goey in the midfield, which I'm keen for. So those are the proverbial magnets being moved tonight, I think. Do you think McStay will play again this season? It's all contingent on how Mason Cox goes tonight. Truthfully. Pressure going to be intense. We have the upper hand with experience. Full stop. Is Manny in here? What time is it in Greece? Manny, are you here? Time in Athens. 9:32. He has to be up, surely. Surely, Manny. Sipna re malaka puise. Vlima. Sipna. If we bring the pressure, Pies win. Hey, Kev, excited for the game? Kev, are you excited for the game? Nakos start in the middle? I think so. Brody Holland said on Swoop Luke's podcast, said he has a good feeling that we will win by 5 or 6 goals. I hope so. I hope Brody's right. I hope Dutchie is right. Cox will help free up Darcy Cameron, so predicting a big game for DC. Well, how does he free him up? Like, he gives him respite when he's in the ruck, which means DC will be on the bench in that time. DC doesn't swing forward nowhere near as much as he did in, say, 2022 and 2023. So I don't know if that enables DC going forward in some capacity. I do miss DC playing in the forward line because he's such a great mark and he's actually quite an accurate kick. But we haven't seen that because of the need to park DC in the back half. So I think, look, DC with or without McStay or Mason Cox will still have the game that he needs to have and will play a similar role. It's just a matter of, does Mason Cox coming in allow DC to play forward line at some point, depending if Mason Cox is dominating in the ruck. Do we have a lockdown role for Dawson? Maybe Scott Pendlebury at centre bounce or in the stoppages. Hard to keep a good man down, though. It frees him up to be a kick behind the ball, which he always is anyways. So I just don't know if it changes much. Manny must be sleeping, guys. Where's the malaka? Nervous and excited. Can't play like we did against Melbourne those first 3 quarters tonight. Captain Blight says, so disappointing to hear you're supporting Andrew Tate. Cry me a river, my friend. Cry me a river. Don't want to be here, that's fine. You're watching someone who literally like follows all their guidelines. So you must, but liking this channel, you're liking him by extension in one way or another. So you take the good out of it. You don't take everything. And that's right. I was about to say Ben. Ben beat me to the punch. Just because you don't like what someone says doesn't mean you can't take other pieces of valuable lessons from them. So there's a lot of people that I look around at myself in life, and I don't love what they're about, but if they have 2 or 3 pieces of really good lessons, then that goes a long way. Less minutes in the ruck and more time around the ground. That's if Mason Cox can have the ascendancy. Marcus says, Anthony, someone we haven't mentioned this week a lot is Darcy Moore. stand up tonight, skipper is. We need his rebound. Marcus, you're right. I feel like the reason why myself and all of us aren't mentioning the Darcy Moore, the reason why we're not mentioning Darcy Moore so much is because we've sort of beaten a dead horse. I feel like we're almost just like, we haven't said it. It's like this unspoken agreement that we're just going to trust that I've lost my words. That we're just going to trust that Darcy Moore is going to come in and be a skipper in this finals. I think we're all just assuming that. And we're not going to wait. We don't want to waste any more time on that conversation. We've been there, done that. We're just going to trust that he's going to show up. What else are we saying? Ben, Melissa asked Ben, how much do you think we win by? Darcy Moore was Alexandria Tate. Can't the Mighty Pies. What are some other questions, guys? Come on. What else we got? What else is cooking? No news on Twitter. I'm hoping there's. I thought Nick Dacos was under a serious injury cloud with 24 hours left to play. What's going on there? What happened to that? What happened to the injury cloud? You think he's not going to play in his brother's 150th game, milestone game? Come on, give me a break, would ya? You're having a laugh, aren't you? What a fucking grab at views for likes. The farm asked, Checkers contract update, Jamie update. I think where there's a rumor, or we believe that Myercheck does have a 2-year. I think Myercheck, guys, correct me. He has a 1-year or 2-year contract offer on the table. Jamie Elliott has a 2-year contract, but it's not as lucrative as he wants it to be. It's probably going to be something that's going to be dealt with after all this is done. After we win our 17th flag, then we can worry about that. But that's how we stand. Ella de Manny, Nato de Malaka. Ella, jump in Discord. Come on. Come give us a G up. Come give us a quick G up, huh? Come on, Manny. Ella, straight from Greece. Ella. I don't have my AirPods though. They might die. Hold on. Ella, Manny. I think they're flat, so I'm hoping Manny won't get echo. Anyways. Boys, allow Discord. Hello, test. Okay. All right, we're waiting for Manny. If he comes in, he comes in. If he doesn't, he doesn't. Malthouse kicks the shit out of a burglar. What is it? What do you mean, Judd? What does that mean? Ella. Feel it? I can't hear you, bro. We can't hear him yet. Guys, this is going to be an almighty rev up. 1 year for Myercheck at the moment. Hoping for a huge game from Crispy and Degoe. Me too. What about you, champs? Who do you think will play out of their skin and what will win by? Let's give Bo McCreary let's give him a 20 touch, 7 tackles, 1 goal game. And if he gets that, we win. How about that? 3 tackles inside 50. 2 center clearances as well. Bo's going to have a massive game. Oh, Malthouse's apartment got broken into and Malthouse kicked the shit out of a guy. True. What a weapon, dude. What a fucking weapon. Manny, I can't hear you, bro. Maybe I'll call you on Discord. Hold on. Wow. When was this like as recent, is this breaking news or is it a couple days old? Because we weren't talking about it yesterday. Manny, I'm going to try call you on Discord. Hold on. Where are you? Buyasera. Manny. Direct messages. Ella. I'll call ya. Ella. $72. He beat the shit out of someone at the age of 72. Who came in? A fucking 5-year-old. to go a whole new beast in the finals. I'd love to see it. Any word on a hyphen? Strange how he hasn't at least trialled in the backline, considering he's a similar aerial ability to Howe. I just think he hasn't been the same player, unfortunately. He hasn't been the same player, so that's probably the issue there. So, guys, Manny's trying his best to get into this. Ella. Manny.
Ella,
Hey, Nato.
Yes, Malaka, what are you doing? Are you lifting or what? It's tonight, mate. Hey, 9:30 in the morning where I am. 9:30 in the morning. I just picked olives today. Fresh olives. Right, I went and milked the goat. I milked the goat. I went and milked the goat there. Got some nice fresh gala now. I'm going to make a Greek coffee. Hey, it's on big time, buddy. Hey, we win tonight, mate. Prelim time. Let's go there. Let's go there. You ready?
Where are you watching the game?
Oh, I'll try to watch it on Fox Tour there. If I can't, I've got to find a pub somewhere.
Ella,
surely. I've got Fox Tour Go.
Surely.
Fox Tour Go there. You can watch Fox Tour Go there, anywhere.
You loaded up on the cigaras in Greece? You ready to go?
Yeah, thick pouch there. I got 3-4. I have to take 3-4 pouches with me. White Ox. I don't sit on there.
Πού είσαι, στην Αθηνά τώρα?
Lesbos.
Lesbos, Ella.
I can't carry on too much because my papa took him to the Guffanil now. I took him to the Guffanil now for a couple of hours.
Mm-hmm.
Then when he comes home, I've got to be low key because he's a Vietnam vet and he gets what do you call it from the war? He gets
PTSD, trauma.
Memories. What's it called? Gets memories from the war. What are we doing, Malaka? Cox back in, huh? They're going to lob the ball. They're going to lob the ball to Cox, right? He's going to bring the baller down. All the small forwards have to rush towards Cox. Schultze, McCreary rush towards Cox. Grab the ground ball and lock the ball inside 50. We should give it to him tonight, telling you.
Michael Hooker says Foxtel only works from Australian IP addresses. So get up. You better get on the move and find a pub. Tell your papu you'll be back in a couple hours. You know.
Yeah, I might have to jump on the ferry and go to Mytilene, the big city there. It's about a half an hour ferry ride. I'll see. Don't worry. I've got a few hours left.
How long are you going to be in Greece for? What's the plan?
Probably 2-3 months. Depends if he's fine to leave him up there. Yeah, I got it. Eh? Family comes first.
Of course, mate. Of course.
I could do 2 things. I could do 2 things at once, bro.
Of course. No, I respect it, man. 100%. That's the Greek in you, man. Of course.
Are you lifting it, Malaka, or what? Where are you going to watch the game, eh?
Don't worry, mate. We'll move in silence.
All right, move in silence, huh? All right, Don't worry there. Hey, get around them now, as we spoke about on Chronicles quickly. Get around them, right? Full support behind them tonight. If we get the job done, buddy, hey, MCG prelim in 2 weeks. Get Bobby Dazzler back in there, and we're laughing. All right, bro. Take it easy, right? And let's see. I might try to jump on after and give you a message if we win on your post-game show.
Heads up. AFL International app. Maybe you can do that, or try get a VPN. Get a monthly subscription for a VPN, just for 1 month.
When it comes to Collingwood, I don't miss out on games. Do you understand? It's time to fucking live. Let's go, Regamoto. Yeah.
Yasu, mate. Yasu. You're a fucking nutcase, and I love it.
Yasu there. Let's go, bro. Hey, and forgot to tell you before I leave.
Ella.
Hey, the Malaka Keen is on notice. If we see Malakis tonight with Keen taking intercept marks, I'm going to lose the plot. Keen has to be stopped. Yasu, I love you, bro. Take it easy.
Take care, bro. Yeah.
Yasu, bro.
I send my love to your papu as well, huh?
All right, Yasu, salary brother. Yeah. See you, Kevy.
I think Kevy's in here. Guys, anybody else want to jump on? Kev.
Hey, mate. How are you?
Good, my friend. What are we thinking?
Thinking a 5-point win. I've been watching Collingwood and Adelaide highlights when we've won. Even watched the end of the 2009 semi-final as well. Watched the whole thing, man. Cannot wait. I'm so pumped.
You're not there, you're not in Adelaide, are you?
No. I'll be at home tonight watching it. Not playing basketball tonight. Not missing out for this one.
Absolutely not. The basketball can wait. The hoops can wait. The buckets can wait.
Right. Buckets wait until I get my game on. But no, look. Honestly, I am confident. I am so confident that we'll win this. The only thing is now is I want us to restrict Kane to having more than 5 marks in a fucking game for intercepts. let's just body him a little bit. Put him under a lot of pressure. The more that we do this and the more we stop Thilthorpe, Walker, fucking Fogarty, we'll be laughing, man. Don't worry. If we can stop those cunts, we'll win.
It's that time, hey Kev?
It is. Hey, do you think now speaking of it, since it rained over there this morning, right? When it's gonna dry up, who do you think that's gonna favour the most? Collingwood or Adelaide?
Well, that's the biggest question that needs answering above anything, in my opinion, is we haven't played Adelaide in dry conditions this year. So that's what I'm curious about, what a dry weather game looks like, and you get an idea for it. It could be an absolute shootout. You look at the first quarter and the first half of the second quarter, when the conditions were dry, both teams were more daring, willing to take on difficult kicks, really good looks going inside 50. They converted difficult shots because the conditions were dry. So it's a massive unknown. Yes, Murph says we smoked them last time when it was dry in 2024, but
yes, we did.
12 months ago they didn't have the same profile, the same defensive profile. So it's a new look.
And also too, if we get a lead, I don't want us to stop. So if we get a 4-goal lead at quarter time, wherever our leads will be, don't stop. Don't let Adelaide kick a couple. If they kick 1 or 2, get the next ones back. We don't need to fucking let them kick 3 or 4 or 5 goals on a trot, and then we're playing catch up after that. Let's build up momentum a little bit. But if they get the first 2, okay, let's get the next one. Let's slow it down for a couple minutes. Then we get on the roll. Because we know that Adelaide's going to get momentum. So how are we going to stop them from continuing to get worse for us? Because that's what cost us this year, that when we kick 4 or 5 goals in a row, they kick 4 or 5 goals in a row. So they dominate the second quarter. We didn't stop that, and we allowed them to play their way. Had we stopped them and slowed down and then build up the uncontested marks, then we could try and build something. Let's surprise Adelaide. Let's just make sure that when they get the first or second goal, that we concentrate and we don't worry about it, and we get going playing our brand of football. Even if we have to slow down for a couple of minutes and take the uncontested marks. Let's do what we did against Melbourne a little bit, and therefore we can try and play our way. Let's play smarter, not try and be lazy and bomb too much, because eventually what that bombing's going to do is it's going to get punched out of bounds, so it's going to get an intercept mark. Let's just chip, and then you can go, because they're not expecting you to do that.
There you go, opposition analysis. Kev has done his reconnoitering for the week. You're all over it. You've been at fucking Adelaide's training ground as well, Kev.
No. It's just that what I saw from the Melbourne game, that was a lot better than what we did against Adelaide. Adelaide was too much bombing, and in Melbourne we played a lot better.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's hope we can just get this result, mate.
Shit, yeah, man.
All right. Appreciate you, Kev.
All right. See you, man.
See you, brother. Yeah. So when it was dry, like we said, it was when the game was dry in that round 23 clash, it was free flowing. It was essentially our turn. We had our run, but then they also had their run in dry conditions. So it goes both ways. It could be a shoot on. Kev is on the money always. Whenever we have a big lead against them, we always stop. All right, we got one more guest. Before we call it. Boomer. Boomer. Boomer, you're on mute. Boomer, hello. Nope, no good. Our tackle pressure is back. Get the chaos ball back, says Troy. And those are the foundations we build our game on. We build our game on forward half territory and pressure. Now we just need that conversion piece back, as they say. Our tackle pressure is back. Yep. We need to switch kicks on 45 and change angles and not kick down the line, which we did. We did do in parts early in that game when the weather was permitting. Pies will not drop this game. I just feel it, says Voidoid. Me too. All right. Margin prediction. Go on. Let me hear it. Margin prediction. Best on. Margin prediction. Best on. And surprise package. Margin prediction. Best on. And surprise package. Go on. Show me what you're made of, guys. You just missed Manny. Manny's in Greece. He's in Lesvos with his papu. Pies by 2. Dan Yusuf for a goal outside 50. Wrapping up work and into game mode. We're all there. We're all getting there. Slowly. Slowly, Peter. That's for sure. Yeah. Screams of 2020 elimination final, doesn't it, Matthew? 26, DeGoey, best on ground. Surprise, Mason. Pies by 14. Best on DeGoey. Surprise, Parker or Steele. 21 points, Pies. Shooter, 3 goals. Best on ground. Long, 26 touches. Mark to only take 3 intercepts. Pies by 12. Crisp, surprise, shooter. Best on field, maybe Nick Dacos. The margin will be how many goals Cox kicks. Pies by 27. Shooter, best on ground. Surprise will be Rowan Steele. Huge number of scoring involvements. Pies by 11. Dan Houston, 2 goals. Love that. And the surprise is Pendles. Crisp, 4-point Nick Dacos IQ. Ooh, I don't mind that. 36 points minus umpire's cheating equals 6 points. It's quick maths. Got to factor it in. 38-point win, says Rick. Nice. 3 points, best on ground, Frampton. Welcome, Rupert, by the way. Long as a surprise. That would be nice. I'd love to see a big game from Ned Long. When was the last time Ned Long had a massive game? A star type of game. Now, he plays a role, and yes, he hasn't been as good in recent periods, say the last 6 to 8 weeks, maybe even longer. Why is this not loading? I'll open up Google Chrome then. That's fine. No dramas. I'll just go Google Chrome if you're not going to work Safari. We'll go Ned Long. When was the last time Ned Long had a big game? Like a star potential type of game, like we looked at him when we were looking at him in that light. 2025. Sydney. Oh, North Melbourne was a big game. Round 11 and 12. He had coaches' votes against North Melbourne and Hawthorn. 29 touches. 13 contested possessions. 6 clearances. 2 goal assists. And then Hawthorn, 2 goal assists. 24 touches. Coaches' votes. 3 clearances. So it's been a while. It's been like nearly 12 weeks since he's had a star potential type of game. So it'd be nice for Long to have a star potential kind of game. Ned Long to shut down Dawson. Similar height, that's for sure. Similar height, absolutely. Benny, thank you for the 5, brother. Alternate version after siren goal by IQ to win it. Holds up his painted finger to the crowd. Imagine that. Imagine the scenes. We know what we're going to get from our good plays. It's more about what we're going to get out of Ned Long, Will Parker. And the same will apply to the Crows. All right, guys, we're going to leave it at that. I'll see you in 5 hours or so. Hopefully there's a smile on all of our faces going into this. And until then, guys, all the best. And as always, go Pies.